The New York Jets wide receiver dart throws are paying off. Let's break down the All-22 and I'll show you why John Metchie and A.D. Mitchell were terrific against the Ravens. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It's Luke here in the Jets film room, and we're back with another All-22 breakdown, and today's a fun one. We're evaluating the Jets' newest wide receivers, A.D. Mitchell and John Metchie. I think they're really showing us why they were such high upside, low risk swings for Darren Muji. Against Baltimore, they did something I love, and that's beat man coverage. We're going to start with Metchie because I think he's got a realistic shot of sticking as the number 3 receiver in the slot for the New York Jets. This is why. What a rep against Marlon Humphrey in the slot, left-hand side, number 2 receiver. Have a look at John Metchie's patience with his release, how he explodes out of the break, and that pure separation. I'm talking 5 or 6 yards and a huge first down. But it starts at the line of scrimmage. This hesitation hop release. Look how he leaves the ground off his left foot. He hops back on that foot. Humphrey then has to throw that right-hand stab. He's trying to protect himself. He gets early and in front of his body, and that's when we see Metchie spin on the whip route and beautiful separation. This is the kind of stuff he does really well from the slot. It's something and a skill set the Jets have been missing, and this was a great example of why he's been winning over the last 2 weeks. I didn't necessarily think Metchie was going to stick long term, but I loved these swings that we saw from Muji in the trade market, and man, this was a tremendous route. And more of the same here from Metchie, who scored his second touchdown in as many weeks. This time stacked off the line of scrimmage, bottom of your screen. Look at the ability to sell this route. There's a miscommunication on the back end from Baltimore, and he finds the pylon and protects the football well. But it all starts with his first 2 steps. Look how he gets his head back to the quarterback like he's running a slant, an in-breaking route, and then he's sharp, snapping off that outbreaker, and that's why he gets that separation before the Baltimore secondary can correct their miscommunication. These little things are adding up for John Metchie. He keeps on winning with these type of routes, and it's going to make him super effective from the slot. Great touchdown, really nice stuff from the Jets' new receiver. And speaking of, let's move over to A.D. Mitchell. This was my favorite route from a Jets receiver this year. Stacked left-hand side of the Jets formation again. Look how Metchie wins on this dig route. It's great separation at the break, but there's a reason why. So much nuance here. I love how AD gets to the inside, but freeze it right here. We've got the corner in trail technique. Watch how he works to the outside towards the numbers. He is threatening the leverage of the DB. He is worrying about the deep route or the out route, and suddenly we're going to put that left foot in the ground and just explode at the break. This is a fantastic job, understanding corner leverage, and then the ability to separate with footwork and with speed. He is one of the best intermediate and deep route runners in the NFL. That is not an exaggeration. Does he drop some balls? We saw that a week ago, but this was tremendous from A.D. Mitchell. But he can also do it in scramble drill situations. Here you're going to see Baltimore fool the Jets with this 5-man pressure. Tyrod escapes the sack, but look at the way that Mitchell breaks tackles on the back end, change of direction, and that spin move, that's exciting. If he keeps his feet here, it's probably a touchdown. He just stumbles, but this guy is explosive. This is why you take these gambles on high upside receivers, because if it pays off, the dividends are huge. He is running wide open here. Unfortunately, Myers slides the wrong way up front, doesn't read the protection correctly. Tyrod does something pretty cool here, but again, wide open. Look how he sits down on the sideline, understands what his quarterback wants, and then he goes to work with the yards after catch. That's not a normal skill set for a guy as big as A.D. Mitchell is, but it's another string to his bow. We saw it with that play against the Rams for Indy. He can be explosive after the catch. But I mentioned it in the intro, I think quarterback play held both of these receivers back on Sunday. Here is Mitchell just showing that explosive deep speed. Yes, he dropped the ball against the Patriots, but you have to keep throwing them. Look at him just blow by this corner. I mean, he runs past him like he's not even there. There's an expression in the NFL, if you're even, you're leaving, and A.D. Mitchell is way past the corner. I mean, this is a house call. Now, unfortunately, there's a bit of pressure and Tyrod sprays the throw out of bounds, but you have to keep taking these shots to AD Mitchell. This is the upside. This is what gets me excited. He keeps on winning in those intermediate and deep routes that I mentioned earlier, and this was another great example. Yes, it ended in incompletion in the box score, but do not discredit what Mitchell did here. Now, I know we're jumping all over the place here, but let's go back to John Metchie. As I mentioned, yes, he won on whips and out routes. That's how he scored his touchdown, but he was also very effective on in-breakers. From the bottom of your screen here, look how he's patient. He uses the route of Mason Taylor as a pick. He gets wide open and takes it for a big explosive gain for the New York Jets. But once again, it's about the patience of the release. Look how he slow plays this. He's not in a hurry. He understands the tempo and timing of an NFL offense, and that's why he was so effective at Alabama. And suddenly we're seeing it over the last 2 weeks. Really explosive though, getting out of the break at the stem, and that's what is tricking these cornerbacks. His ability to change pace, to lull them to sleep with the release and then explode when it's most important. A really nice job here. He understands the offense and he just keeps on succeeding. And then last one, this time more against zone coverage, but you're going to see him come across the formation, understands that the linebacker can't run with him, and again, he's able to move the chains. This is such an important part of an NFL offense now. Can you win from the slot with tight ends and also these kind of crafty smaller receivers, a guy like Hunter Renfrow, and can you keep moving the sticks? John Metchie's done it. These two combined for over 100 yards, they scored a touchdown, and they have very contrasting skill sets, but they're both a big chance of sticking for the New York Jets. So guys, there's me shining the light on AD Mitchell and John Metchie and why I thought they were such smart pickups. Are they going to be wide receiver ones? No. But the Jets have a chance to really reshape this wide receiver room in 2026. They may only be missing one piece, and it's because of the craftiness and the smart trades of Darren Muji.